Hi, beloved. Welcome on board. I was going to see if you can hear me okay. I'm not sure if you can, but I want to see if the sound, I ended up hooking up a microphone. Okay, good. Thank you, Johnny. Welcome on board, Johnny Neal. Nice to see you here. Yes. I know the sound was a little tricky the other 2 weeks, and I ended up hooking up a microphone, and hopefully that will do a better job than last 2 weeks with the computer sound. But we will have to see. We will have to see how this works out. Yes. So, welcome on board, everybody. This is Marcus from Healing with Marcus. And no, it's not a new fireplace, Johnny. I am in Mammoth, and we are up here, me and my buddy, my friend Ram Corinne, we're up here doing some work. Sometimes we have to chop wood and carry water. And at this moment, we are chopping snow and carrying snow, basically. Uh, that is a beautiful way to spend the day every now and then. So, mm, so at this point, I'm up in Mammoth. That's why there's a fireplace behind me. Hi, Ellie K. Good to see you. So grateful that you are here. And whoever else is coming on board, if you're watching this after the fact, you are most welcome to join our weekly lives that are going on here every Monday evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, this is an effort from me to create a tribe and to continue the support for the healing community that we are all a part of. There is a huge movement in our world of inner healing. There's a huge movement in our world of returning to spirit, returning to our inner medicine, and not so much relying on the modern Western medicine. And it turns out that almost all of our ailments can be healed in different ways by our own sacred inner medicine. So, and if there turns out to be issues with the sound, please feel free to make that a comment in the comment field here, and I will see if I can change it. But for now, this is how we're going to keep going. So, this is such a beautiful way to spend Monday evenings for me, and it's beautiful to see all the people who come on board. I love that we are a group of people who are interested in going within and interested in energetic healing work that takes place from the level of your soul, from the level of your intuition, from the level of your inner spirit. So, the theme of today, this brings us right into the theme, which is you are the sacred medicine. You are sacred medicine. And what that means is that as we have embarked on this inner healing journey, we have started to find that there are things in our lives that we need to look at. There are patterns in our lives that are repeating themselves. There are situations, especially for many of us, I believe it comes up in relationships, but it also comes up in regular day to day life. And what we are interested in doing today is both guiding us into looking at what kind of trauma is stuck in your system, what kind of trauma is real for you, which also then ends up shaping your world and your life. It's really a fascinating journey when we go within, when we start looking into ourselves, and we might, if you are lucky, as I was very lucky or very blessed, or luck may not have anything to do with this when we actually come back home. But looking into ourselves, we can see certain things that always make us react. We can see certain things in our lives that we always have an innate reaction to. It might be a situation with a partner, it might be a situation at work, it might be a situation when something pops up on the news. But for all, or especially in family settings, right, with your parents or your siblings, or in a setting of family, it's very easy to get triggered, and it's very easy to see that we are being triggered. This is a excellent time to look inwards and to do some research on yourself, to do some inner searching, inner healing, to see what is this reaction? Where does it come from? Do I always get kind of tight in my system when I hear certain things that people are doing? Do I always get like, oh, that irks me? What irks you, beloved? What irks you in your life? Because what's so fascinating is if we can start to see when we have a reaction, when we have, say a reaction of some form of negativity, some form of anger, some form of I don't like that, that is a bad behavior. Of course there are behaviors that aren't healthy, we can see that. But what makes you tick? What is it about a certain behavior, a certain action that somebody takes, or ways people speak to you that makes you tick always? Are there certain patterns in your life that you may repeat over and over? And as we start to see that, oh, so I've had this repetitive pattern in my life, how has that caused my life to change? What choices have I made in my life based on those reactions that have then formed how my life turns out? This is why it becomes extremely important to sit with our own inner both trauma and inner truth. When it's so easy, it's really easy when we go into the world to align with people who agree with our way of seeing things. So if we see the opposite gender, the opposite sexes doing certain things, or if we are interested in same sex relationships, then whatever it is that we are always focusing on, is it something that when oh, I can't stand when people do that, I can't, and then you feel it in your body, you feel something changing in your system. And you, in my case, there's been a lot of jealousy in my life. I've had a lot of issues around jealousy, and I didn't see how until I actually sat down and embarked on a very deep healing journey, that it had shaped many of my decisions, many of my reactions, and how I had lived my life. Even reacting at work, even reacting to people's comments or behaviors at work can at times show us, oh, so when somebody does this, it makes me feel this way, this or that way. And then I make decisions based on those feelings. Often, that is based in a form of a trauma experience we've had as children. When we have that experience as a little one, our mind figures out ways so we don't have to feel hurt. We don't have to feel abandoned. We don't have to feel like nobody cares. Jess Leah, nice to see you, dear Jess, dear Jess. So when we see those reactions, if we can pay attention to when our heart, our body, our sacral chakra, our solar plexus chakra, or our even throat or around the chest area, when it goes into contractive mode, when it goes, can I see that that's a reaction within my system? And of course, so many of us have found like, well, I'm always going to react to this because that is bad behavior. I'm always going to be angry at this thing because that's bad behavior. What if you can ask yourself, why is it that it triggers you so deeply? What is it inside of you that this reminds you of? And so often, of course, most of us have had different forms of abandonment issues in our lives. And then when people act out certain behaviors that reminds us of these abandonment issues, we go "Rrr," and we reject, we put our heels in, and we really become uh, triggered. And as you start to see your own triggers, as you can learn how to sit with your trigger and then start to examine it. Why is this particular thing making me so angry? If you can see that, you will be able to start to breathe space into the contraction. And then you might be able to see where it's coming from. You might be able to see the origin of this feeling. And as we start to see that, it becomes easier to release it out of our system. We the method that I have adopted from my shaman teacher is to sit with the trauma, breathe space into it, and allow your body to heal itself. And I have said this before, but I'll say it again. When I cut my hand, if I cut my hand with a knife, immediately in my system, all the white blood cells, all the cells, and all the DNA in my system reacts, and it starts the healing process. So if I cut my hand, right away it'll start to try and heal, because that's the body's response to an injury, to a trauma. And what most of us fail to then see is that if we can create space for emotional trauma as well, it can begin to move out our system. Our body knows how to heal things when we let it. But when we keep going into the same triggered space and then we justify why we are angry about certain things and why this behavior really triggers me and it makes me so angry, if I keep defending it, I'm not ever giving my body a chance to heal. But when I sit with it and can observe it from a neutral space, if I can enter into that inner space, the inner sanctuary that we talked about last week, if you can enter into your inner sanctuary and sit in that inner space and allow the trauma, breathe space into the trauma, allow your body to begin to heal itself, the reaction slowly removes itself. And of course, it takes time. The trauma didn't get stuck in your system overnight, and the release doesn't happen overnight. And in a way, the older we are, the sometimes it can be harder to release things because we are so used, our mind pattern is so used to going into the same inner space over and over and over. And I had to sit a lot with some of the triggers that I have had, that I had to sit a lot with them in order for it to begin to move, in order for it to see it clearly. And of course, it is not an overnight change. It's a lifelong practice of learning to see the reactions and then releasing them. So if I get angry about something, I can ask myself, do I have to react right now? Or where does this come from? What does this remind me of? Am I feeling a feeling that's been in my system for a long time? This is how we end up finding the traumas. This is how we end up healing on the inner side, inner space. And as we do this, see, your body, your energy, which we could also call it your soul, knows how to heal itself all the time. The main thing is that we have to teach ourselves to come back home, to come into our center, to do deep meditations, to do deep sits, in order to feel safe, to feel spaciousness inside. And breathe into wherever in the body something is stuck. Hmm. 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 So, as we learn this practice, we're also becoming more familiar with what our medicine is, our soul. And as we learn to express your true self, Instead of sitting in that false self, because here's the other part of this, right? The false self is the reaction. The false self is all the defense mechanisms we have created to not feel hurt, to not feel abandoned, to not feel injured, right? And and when that goes into play, our world usually shrinks. Our world becomes smaller, and we because we move closer to into ourselves, and we become like, nothing's going to hurt me. And what happens is we shut down our light. We shut down our inner spirit, our soul. And as you start to heal this inner trauma, your soul begins to shine through. And then over time, we learn how to sit in that inner space. And when we go into the world, we can stay with at least one foot in the inner space. So if something does come up that reminds us of the trauma, instead of reacting, we can go, okay, let me sit with this. We might be able to ask our person or whoever, wherever we are, give me a moment. Just give me a moment here. I need some space. I need some time. And then we back out of the situation. We do a quick inner research. We do a quick inner sit, and we can see, oh, so I'm again afraid of being left out. I'm again afraid of not being a part of. And as I sit with that, right, as my soul begins to grow through my system, how I move through the world changes. And as how we move through the world changes, your spirit gets stronger. And as you start to feel safer, usually we base that from the meditation, from the healing journey, we move into the world with more safety. Then we walk through the world with a feeling of peace inside, a feeling of love inside. And other people feel that. And suddenly you are the medicine. Suddenly your essence that is brought out by this experience, by this journey, by this healing journey, we begin to affect the world differently than when we were always trying to see, how can I get something out of this? How can I fill my needs from this place? If you move into the world from a more of a healed space, and instead of always looking for, how can I get my kicks filled? How can I get my desires met? When we're not preoccupied by that all the time, we move into the world differently. And suddenly other people feel very safe in your presence. And as they feel safe in your presence, they begin to open up. They can feel their inner soul, their inner light. And then you are the medicine. This is how we affect change on an individual scale. But as we do, we are also affecting the field. There's a quantum field, there's a field, there's an ether, there's the world of the unseen. And as you come, instead of going in that space of, I need something, you come from a full space of, how can I contribute to this situation? How can I be of use here? How can I create the space to listen to this person, to make them express themselves, and then I can express myself? Suddenly we have affected the whole field. And as more and more of us awaken to this journey, we are affecting the field in ways we don't even know. We are affecting the unknown, the unseen, in ways we have no idea that we are doing. And even if you just imagine that when you think of a certain person, somebody you may know, or if you recognize it within yourself, but especially if we think about certain persons or even spirits that we know of, it brings a smile to your face. Sometimes if we can sit with the true energy of the spirit of Jesus, for example, that can bring a smile to our face. Not what it says in the Bible, but the true energy. Yes? So, and if you can be that kind of light, that when people think of you, if you just flash through their mind for a millisecond, but they feel better when they think of you, you realize you have affected the field in ways you had no idea. And this is going on all the time. This is our multidimensional reality where we are affecting the field without having any clue. And in some ways, it comes back also to the saying, we don't know what we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. This is where faith or trust comes in. We trust the process, that this is the healing journey, that it works. Has it worked? If it's worked for in my case, it's worked for Marcus, maybe it can work for you as well. So the idea of light worker, you are sacred medicine, meaning you are light inside. You recognize your inner light by releasing the traumas out through the system, and suddenly you're affecting the whole field completely different than when you are only seeking your inner fulfillment, like your fulfillment from other people. Then we are more like small black holes that are running around trying to suck up energy from others all the time. So when the shift happens, it's a beautiful experience. When you realize you don't need anything from anybody except your own inner acceptance, your inner love to connect with who you actually are, your soul. And as that radiates through you in your actions, in your smile, in your eyes, you begin to affect the world differently. It really is a deep journey, and it really is a pretty long term journey. But this is how we help the world to heal. And over time, as we grow in strength in that healing process, because that's what happens too, you grow in strength inside. You are creating more of your inner spiritual platform. So that gets stronger. You will end up affecting many more people than you have any idea. And we create ripples, just like when you throw that little rock or pebble in the pond, there's a ripple effect. Those ripples that we are creating when we're coming from our inner soul space are so different than the ripples that we are creating when we come from anger or negativity or gossip or whatever it might be that is our normal sense of like how we communicate to people or with people. So it is a beautiful journey. And I'm very grateful that we are a growing little tribe here on YouTube. We're connecting every week. And we're getting a little bit stronger every time. We're getting a little more anchored inside of ourselves every time. So, my loves, we are about to go into the healing part of this section. And Cesar Abreu, nice to see you, Cesar. Welcome on board. We are going into the healing part of this. This is where you, as a light worker, if this resonates with you, if this particular healing form resonates with you, then sit with an open heart, sit with an open mind, and just absorb and feel into your system what is coming through. It may help you to grow roots into Earth Mother, envisioning that you are energetically connecting down into the soil, into Earth Mother. As we move into this inner space, we use our breath to guide us. We breathe into wherever there may be a contraction in the system. This is how we can determine and find that there is a trauma stuck somewhere. So, at this moment, I would like for you to make yourself comfortable, to sit in your inner space, to release the worries of the day, to release any of those incessant thought patterns. For the coming 10, 15 minutes, we don't need those patterns. For right now, we just need to come back home. Home into our heart, home into our sacral chakra. Yes, sir. So use your breath to release the worries, the thought patterns. Use your breath to drop into your body. Sink into your body. Let these sounds and vibrations work through your system. Deo, 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 daya. Deo, 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 daya. Deo, deo. Deo, 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 doyo, 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 why, daya, do, doy. Ay, nate toyo. Hey. Yo, 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 yo. Ay, yo, yo, do, dai, te, te, te. Yo, 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 yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Toyo. Dayo. Da toyo. Udo dai. Odo dai. Welcome back into the room, everyone. Beautiful to have everybody on board. Beautiful to feel the joy that is arising within you. Todo dai. Todo dai. All the way from the root chakra and up activation. Yes. Toyo, 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 toyo dai. Odo dai. Odo dai. We are so happy. We are so grateful that you are all here. Thank you, Cesar Brew and Ellie K and Jess and Johnny Neal and whoever else was on here and all the people who watch it afterwards. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings to all. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful little tribe we are creating. And it's fun and amazing to have everybody on board. Todo daya. So, daya. There you go. Your root chakra was exceptionally hot tonight. That's right, Johnny. We can feel it. We can feel it activating and growing up into our bodies. Yes, sir. This is how the healing happens. This is how the soul starts to express itself through you. Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody, for being on board. We are going to say, wish you a beautiful, lovely week. If anybody feels like connecting with me outside of this, feel free to do so at Healing with Marcus. And if you want to do a private session, feel free to do so. And like and subscribe and share if you feel like it. Have a beautiful, lovely, amazing week. So much love to all you light workers out there. Tayo, 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 tayo. Eko taya. Namaste and aho. Tai, tai. Thank you, Ellie K. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jess and Cesar. Bye.